Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. Welcome to an episode of A Day Late and a Dollar Short. Generally speaking, if you want to boycott, or at least call for a boycott of a product, let's say a TV show, video game, or movie, you want to do it before said TV show, video game, or movie is released. You don't want to wait 3, 4, 5 days afterwards, but well, not everybody is running. Not everybody's running on the same intellectual level as others. But anyway, in this article from that Park Place, IGN writer who smeared game science and Black Myth Wukong, probably based on improper translations, calls for boycott of game. Okay, previously admitted to hating white people, calling for a boycott of a game that's already out, that is reportedly already sold 10 million copies. I don't think you're going to even come remotely close to accomplishing what you're trying to accomplish, but let's see. Oh boy, one of IGN writers who smeared game science as sexist because, well, mistranslation. But anyway, called for gamers to boycott Black Myth Wukong ahead. Oh, he actually did it ahead of the game's released. Okay, but wait a minute. Was I incorrect? Let's find out. The same writer has previously admitted to not liking melaninless content. Melaninless? Just say white people. Whatever. As reported by YouTuber Smash JT, writer Ki-Hoon Chan, who co-wrote an article with Rebecca Valentine at IGN accusing game science of being sexist based on crude recruitment posters. Okay, they're crude, not sexist. Crude. The company used back in 2015, as well as social media posts that have been heavily disputed and criticized for being uncharitable translations. Uncharitable. They were mistranslated. Called for gamers to boycott Black Myth Wukong right before the game released. Again, you really want to start that kind of campaign months ahead of schedule, not a couple of days. Chan posted on X, "I'm so fucking pissed off. This has gone too far. Tell us how you feel. Don't play Black Myth Wukong. If you must, go and pirate it." Telling people to go and break the law. Well, that's going to get you a lot of points. If you enjoy it, I do not want to know it. Well, then don't pay attention to it. Fuck game science and all the grifters who are doing this to one of my favorite people in the industry. Oh, you mean the ignorant twat who mistranslated and reported on the mistranslation over and over again, who promoted the mistranslation and constantly wants interviews to talk about the mistranslation, even though you're invited to talk about the game and review the game? You want to talk about the Okay. This post clearly calls into question whether or not Chan had ulterior motives when writing the article at IGN smearing game science and accusing the game company of sexism. Well, of course. Of course it's ulterior motives. He's a journalist at IGN. That's like a journalist at Kotaku or Polygon. They all have ulterior motives. And they're all there, plain as day, for everyone to see. Chan's comments are not out of the ordinary because he's a lunatic. Back in January 2022, as part of a lengthy thread discussing Slow Clap's Sifu game, very fun game. I'm terrible at it, but it's a lot of fun. Chan denigrated white gamers and even admitted his hatred for white people. And yet, they call us racists. My dear projection, thy name is Ki-Hoon Chan. In one post, he wrote, "White gamers have zero nuance, zero understanding of the world because you're such a genius, right? And it'll forever be like this because the world bends over to meet their expectations." If that were true, then we wouldn't be getting games like Dustborn and Concord and the like. If that were true, bends over to meet their expectations. That's the problem right now. Gamers feel like nobody's meeting their expectations, white or otherwise. And if they're upset, they just scream at their targets until everything works miraculously in their favor. Please refer to the previous statement. My goodness. In another post, Chan wrote, "Do I hate white people? Yes! Ah, you're admitting your racism, the racism that you accuse other people of being." Oh, he does project too much, methinks. And if you're a friend, you'll understand why. This is never personal. Sounds pretty personal to me, dude. I hate white privilege so much. What about Asian privilege in Japan and China? What about that? What about, well, not South Africa. I'm not going to go there. What about Australian privilege in Australia? What about Scottish? Well, I don't think there is any Scottish privilege. Maybe you should just stick to nationality privilege based on the in the nation that you're in. I don't know. Or I could just be mistaken. I hate white privilege so much. Their ability to scream revert. Oh, God, I hate this. Oh, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. The buzzwords just hurt my brain. Their ability to scream reverse racism when faced with a tiny bit of... Oh my goodness. Their ability to scream reverse racism when faced with a tiny bit of criticism. You mean like when you are criticized for the nonsense you push out and you scream racism? You and your filthy little cohorts all the time? If Alyssa Mercante, just as an example, is criticized for the nonsense she pushes out in her articles, if she's criticized in even the slightest, she screams misogyny. You mean that? My goodness. The world revolves around them, even in Singapore. I fucking doubt it. Every day. I doubt it. In an article published by First Person Scholar titled Decolonize... Oh, we're going to get into other stuff. Let's see. Despite Chan's call for a boycott, Black Myth Wukong broke the record for a most concurrent Steam players for a single-player game. 2.4 million people playing it on August 22nd. I don't think the number's gone up too much, but my goodness. I would call that a massive success, despite, criticizing the game. It's primarily Chinese people playing it, so they're still gamers. 2.4 million is nothing to sneeze at. In fact, the game currently sits at the second most played game on Steam based on concurrent player counts behind PUBG Battlegrounds. Game Science also reported via Black Myth Wukong's official account on X that the game has sold 10 million copies. Again, I think they're doing just fine with their massively popular video game. I forgot to take a look at the numbers over the weekend, but yeah, they were up there. I know that much. What do you make of Chan's call for a boycott? The term day late and a dollar short come to mind for sure, while being the person who co-wrote an article smearing. He does have some bias, methinks. How are you going to sit there and announce your bias and sit there and constantly claim in the current video game atmosphere that like this idea that it's just white gamers? It's just like making accusations. It's just conservatives that are complaining about these video games, about these TV shows, about these movies. It's just a whole bunch of filthy, disgusting white boys that are complaining about it. Heteronormative white gamers. This is so nonsensical. We're talking about gamers from around the world, from many, many different ethnicities, from male and female, many different sexualities, bisexual, heterosexual, homosexual, doesn't matter. Gamers are gamers are gamers. And many gamers are taking issue across all these different demographics as to the direction that the current landscape is going. And they're speaking out about it by simply trying to claim it's just white boys making these complaints is nonsensical and unprovable no matter how many times you scream it. So, do I think that good old, what's his name? Do I care? Where's his name? Oh, well, his name. This chuckle fuck right here. Just because you say it doesn't mean it's true. Doesn't mean one article after another repeats the NPC dialogue, the current script, saying it over and over again, doesn't make it true. Gamers are getting sick and tired of the nonsense being pushed out. They're finding more and more outlets to vocalize their discontent and constantly being called racist, sexist, bigots is doing nothing more than proving their point of the nonsense being pushed out. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike, and then do all those nifty little things that YouTubers beg you to do. And I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.